All right, here we are. Walk 2, walking with Papa, walking and talking. Today we are joined by Owen Bell. Owen is my grandson. He is the second oldest, but he is the biggest, right? Yes. Hey, where's Severus? Lucy, where's Severus?
Would you like to know what Owen wants to know about today while y'all are walking and talking?
You're on now, babe, in all your pajamas and no makeup and going on YouTube glory. That's what you get when you interrupt.
I see Severus.
There's Severus. All right, here comes Sevy Sev. Walking
Owen wants
with
to know about computers. The first computers.
the first computers?
Computers that took up a whole room.
No. We got to go way back before that if you want to get to the
He
first
wants
computers.
to talk about computers.
We will talk about computers.
You want to see
Okay,
pictures.
if you want to talk about computers, come on, let's go. We're walking and talking. Severus knows what's going on. There he goes, barfing. Uh-oh, dinosaur fell over. Gotta fix the dinosaur. Oh, get back out of the way there, you giant mongrel. Let's go. Walking and talking with Papa. All right. Owie Bell has asked me about computers. Now, I'm not the world's first and foremost expert on computers, but I will tell you that computing machines have existed for a long time before our current crop of computing machines. Current computers are like the one that sits on beside my desk, and this phone that I'm holding here is a computer with a phone app. But the first, oh, we gotta pee. The first computers were used to count and look at the stars so that they would know where the planets and the sun and the moon were going to be on specific times and days and things like that, because it was very important to them to keep up with where they were and the date and time. If you want to go to Dragon Force, we're going to go to Dragon Force. We're going to go by the Papa Path. I love grandchildren. Anyway, but soon men started asking questions that would change. In other words, you can set up a computer to compute one thing. This way, Owen. We're going to walk on this terrace. You can set up computers to answer one question, or you can set up universal computers which can answer questions on math that, you can ask it different questions if you phrase the questions the right way. And so when I was young, a little older than you are now, I was in a group called Computer Science Explorers. And what we would do is we would go and work the college's big computer that ran on, would you believe it, cardboard cards, little manila envelope things, cardboard cards, and you'd have to stack them into the machine for it to work correctly. But nowadays they don't work that way. Instead of using cardboard, they use tiny little magnets that flop back and forth, and so they answer questions in a different way. But because of the way that the magnets are, you can ask them lots of different questions instead of the old mechanical computers, which usually only answered one type of question. Oh, Severus is pooping. I am not going to show that. Here, I'll sort of show it. There he is, all his glory. This is why we do our walks. The main reason is because if you want Severus to poop somewhere other than the front porch, you got to get him away from this front porch. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go to school?
Jones Elementary School. I'm 6 and I'm in first grade.
That was not the answer I was looking for, but that is the answer I got. This morning, I was awakened early by my alarm so that I could go to our local meeting of the Republican Party, chaired by Dr. Rick Tillman. We did say the Pledge of Allegiance. It was pretty fun. I did speak this morning because for the last 3 weeks I have been in and out of a polling place. We were observing. I'm a poll watcher, not a poll worker. I was observing the vote in Fulton County, Georgia, and I reported happily to my friends that Miss Jody and Miss D and let's see who else, Miss Helen, Miss Malva, Miss Susan, Miss Gail, Miss Alana, Miss Corey, Mr. Dan, and there's one other lady that came late and I never did get her name. I have no idea what Severus is eating. They did an outstanding job, at least for the early voting section, the group that I saw. Severus, quit! Come on! He's found something to eat and I don't want to know what it is. Come on, Sev! Let's go! They did an outstanding job. I was impressed with the professionalism and the thoroughness that Miss Jody, our poll manager, expected of her people, and I was not pleasantly surprised. I was actually gratefully rewarded that everything was done the way it was done. I know that she will never see this, but I thought that Miss Jody and her troops did a wonderful job. This is Energy Incarnate. He's been up for 2 hours but hadn't gotten out of bed because he was watching. What were you watching? What were you watching?
I was watching YouTube.
YouTube what?
Just regular YouTube.
Oh, I've been punched in the stomach just because that's what he wanted to do. Look, we have come to where you wanted to be.
Dragon Forest.
Dragon Forest. Obviously, I have not burned my burn pile yet. There it is. Oh, and the High Sheriff of Carroll County, Terry Langley, was there this morning talking to us, tell us about what the Sheriff's Department is going to be doing this election season, how they're going to be riding around a little bit to the polling places on Tuesday. They're not going to have deputies at every stage, at every polling place the way Fulton County did. But I'm in agreement with him that in Carroll County it's probably not necessary. We do have one more day of poll watching, and that will be the general election on Tuesday. And then I may never do it again, although I know in my heart that at some point in the future I will. But doing it as many days as I've done these last 3 weeks has been, well, it's just not easy. It's just the simple act of driving up there and back every day. It's a real job. And it's expensive, and as a professional hermit, it's not something that I'm used to. Now this is interesting. Look here. What happened here? Something has attacked this tree. And normally I would say that that was a deer, but that looks weird. That is definitely odd. I mean, that could be an antler scrape. They don't usually pick on trees that big. Owen loves what? What do you see? Loves this forest. We call this dragon forest. It's a pine, like a mini pine barren. And if you don't know what a pine barren is, it's where, what? You want to know what kind of tree that is? That's a sweet gum tree. in the natural progression of the forest, the first thing that comes up are the pine trees and the sweet gums. In this case, the pine trees got a pretty good head start, and so the sweet gums are small and stunted, but once they get in here, they grow pretty fast. And they will start to edge out the sweet gums. And then after the sweet gums get a good hold, you'll have the poplar trees come in. And then finally the hickories and the oaks will come in, and they'll be the dominant species after the forest is matured. But that takes a long time, maybe as much as 100 years for a forest to go from a pine barren to a primal forest like we got right over there. Now, one thing that isn't supposed to be here, hold this for me. Hold that for me and point it at me, is this. This is privet hedge. And while it is revered in Southeastern Conference stadiums, I don't know if I can pull this up or not. I sincerely doubt it. Oh, got it. While it is revered in Southeastern Conference stadiums, playing between the hedges, that is an invasive species. Thank you, sir. And it's not supposed to be up here. Here's some more. We got to pull this up. I'm glad you walked me in here today. Here, you pull up that one and I'll pull up this one. There's mine. I guess I'll get yours. This is what we're after, Owie. This is privet. What I do is I hang it in the other trees that are nearby. I saw another one. There it is. I don't so much mind the, we're 8 up. I don't so much mind the sweet gum, even though I don't particularly love the plant. The privet is something else. It will flat take over. And the easiest way to get rid of it, if you're strong enough, is just to rip the stuff up out of the ground. Hang it in a tree so that the root dries out. Now over here, we have something that is a little more common in the South. This is a blackberry meadow. You can't walk through there right now. Then we got a native or wild pecan tree in the middle over there, which is pretty cool. I like pecans. You gonna go back out? You gonna go around? All right, go on. Lay on, McDuff. Burnham Wood is coming to Dragonwood. You see these little mounds in here? That little mound right there in front of you? That's from where they scraped off the topsoil from over there and pushed it over here. And we got to put it back soon. It's only been 18 years. I'm going to take this deadfall right here down so that it doesn't fall on my grandson. Here's another one. Watch out, Seb. You walked right under it, dog. Sorry, folks. That one had to go. It was to the point that it was dangerous. Oh, he's on his way. We're not walking real far. Do you want to go to Dragon Rock? All right. Beside Dragon Wood, we have Dragon Rock. This is more mature forest over here. You can see it's more open, with a really heavy canopy. This is mostly white oak, mature red oak. Very few water oaks because they're not as big. We got some hickories in here. Here's one of our good friends, the white oak. Owen is steadily working his way down the valley. We are off the track. That's okay. I'm coming. Every once in a while I will mow this. I haven't mowed that little outcrop right there, but over here several years ago I mowed it. And if you can do that, then it will stay clear like this. You don't have to cut it every year or even every 2 years or even 3. You cut it once every 4 or 5 years, it'll be all right. Now here's the difference. You see there's no undergrowth over here. It was cut at least 3 years ago, maybe 4, and this side wasn't. So you can see the dramatic difference that it makes once you get in here. Owen is picking his way through. I'm more bulling my way through. Longer legs do matter. And long pants. He wore short pants. Oh, he sounds horrible. Follow Lucy. She'll get you on the best path. We're heading to that rock outcropping over there, which is known as, what's it known as?
Dragon Rock.
Dragon Rock. That's right. Got us a crag right here. Now, right up there, I don't know if you can see it very well, that tree that's dead, that sucker was hit by a massive lightning bolt. That's a white oak, and I'm sorry to see it go, but it got struck by a massive lightning bolt. The house is probably 200 yards from that tree, and it scared us badly when it hit. It was, you know, you got lightning bolts and then you got lightning bolts, and this thing was huge. And I came out here to see it smoldering, and it was bare, as you can see. I doubt you can see it on this, but the far, it's a double stem, and the far stem, you can see that there's no bark on it. This damn tree was still steaming when I got to it, and the bark had literally been blown off of it. What are you barking of? Must be something up there to get Lucy so upset. Severus is behind us. Oh, there is something. It just fell out of a tree. What was that? I saw it, Lucy. What was that? I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a possum or a... You want me to crawl up Dragon Rock to see what it is? She's right. Oh, I see it now. It's hiding behind a tree over there. Yeah, there's a creature up there, all right. Let's zoom in a little bit. I see you, creature. I see you, creatures. Get them, Lucy. See, they'd have got us. They would have gotten us if they'd have gotten us if Lucy hadn't been with us.
We were going to Dragon Rock, and we were recording our video, but then we found the James.
We found a James. For those that don't know him, that is James, my son, and number 4. Yeah, number 4, Bayless Gray. 4th grandson. He has a broken arm right now. He fell out of the back of the truck. He's wearing his orca coat.
We moved up further than we could recover.
Yeah.
I thought y'all were back there from last time I heard his voice, but you were actually just over this hill, and then you came up the hill and saw us.
You were in a sound shadow. All right, hold on a minute, boys. Now listen to me. There are leaves on this rock. Listen to me. Are you listening? There are leaves on this rock. It is going to be slippery where those leaves are. Okay? If you step somewhere where the leaves are and it's slippery, you will slide right down the rock and you will be in pain. I'm not going to tell you not to go do it.
Bayless, I am going to tell you not to go do it because your arm is broken.
Yeah, you've already got a broke arm, Bayless. It's probably not a good idea for you to do it. But if you go up there, don't get near the edge right now, okay? About that far back is plenty far back. This is just an rock outcropping that we have on the property. We call it Dragon Rock because, well, it's a big old monolith. Here she be. We're in a mica garnet schist area. My mother was a geologist, and she would make certain that I knew what I was looking at. You can see we got this little hollowed out spot. Critters live back in amongst it. Looks like we got a critter living amongst it pretty regular back there. All the rocks have been, leaves have been swept out. So it's a pretty neat place. It's got some fern and some moss on it. Pretty neat rock. I always worry that I'm going to come out here one day and there's going to be a big old rattlesnake in this crevice. So I like to look at it before the boys get in here. But you can see that creatures definitely live under this big old rock. There is quartzite in the schist. It's a neat rock. There's Owen doing Owen things. There's Bailiff. He's going to try to crawl up this with one arm. We're going to hope he doesn't fall. Oh, I need to back up. Still got it on Zoom. We're going to have to go back soon because old 77 is getting hot. He's not the dog he once was. We still got to crawl up out of this seat. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you're way up there now. There's poison ivy up there too. There's poison ivy right there. So, be careful. All right, we're going to start heading back. It's not far from the house. We sort of started heading back from the moment. Now that's going to be slippery, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Look at all those leaves and they're going to slide on the rocks. Go around. You did. Yeah. 4-year-olds. He just turned 4. All right, we're going up the hill, Owen. Uh-oh, more privet hedge. That one's more stubborn. I can't hardly get it with one hand. Here, hold this. I'm gonna need 2 hands. Point it at... That's a big old leaf. It's actually a hickory, I think. No, you're right. It's an oak tree. Owen Cam. Good job, buddy. He slid? Oh, okay. Up we go. Following Lucy. Take us home, Lucy. Let's go.
I can take us home. I can see your field.
You got the dogs? If you follow the dogs, they will take you home. You're out here lost. Another interesting feature of the property. This is an old roadway. You can see where they built it up right here. Through this draw. To go up that hill. They piled rocks from the forest, from the fields. They take the rocks and they pile them over here, and they built up this. It's not a dam, but it's flattened out the hill so they could drive through here.
There's no big trees between us and you that we could get to without you seeing us.
No, you couldn't sneak up on us very well. It just wasn't going to happen. You got a scratch on your nose this morning.
Can we go back to Daddy first?
No, we're leaving now. We're going right through that hole right up there. There's blocks down here because at one point I had an idea that I was going to build a building down here to work out in. But that didn't work out. We built our building closer to the house. You can go that way. I'm going this way. Owen's going for that hole over there. I'm going for this hole too. Oh, you want food? We'll feed you. Coming back up on the back vineyard, we got a vineyard on the top of the hill, and we got a vineyard behind the house. This is the behind the house vineyard over here. A few more vines on this side. I'm actually trying to get rid of I've pulled up the vines that were south of the next terraced up. That one up there, that is the only vine that's still down here. And I transplanted them over there to the vineyard on the other hill. But I didn't get this one. He's been growing wild for a while. This whole vineyard has been growing wild for the last 2 years. In just 2 years, it's really gotten away from me. But the rabbits love it. Oh, we're racing. All right.